Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, folks, Bama is getting flipped off big time. Tennessee and Auburn are causing them all kinds of problems down there in Alabama land. And Ohio State folks are a little bit upset too. Now, for the Alabama and Ohio State fans out there, I think Ohio State fans will be able to handle this video and be okay. The Alabama fans, I don't know. This might upset you a little bit too much. Humongous, do it.
Just walk away.
Yeah, you might want to walk away because this information, it could be a little bit taxing on you. Anyway, let's get into this. Now, quickly on the David Sanders thing, we've been covering that quite a bit. We picked up, obviously, a huge five-star #1 tackle in the country. Now, the Ohio State fans seem to be a little bit upset about this. They're sitting at #1 in recruiting. I can't understand why in the world they're upset about anything. But anyway, I thought I'd show this to you, just so you can see the level of spoiled some of these fan bases are. This Ohio State fan says, not a shock, no pressure to win anything because they won't. No pressure for him to perform like it would be here at Ohio State, is what he means. Plus, he got a massive NIL deal. He can enjoy his money and play stress-free. Ohio State paid out $20 million last year to their players in NIL. We know that because they have to actually report that as part of the state law. So, really? That seems to be a little bit of a copium. He says, Ohio State isn't for everyone. Good luck to him. And then another guy says, disgraceful that a school like Ohio State is still looking for a left tackle in this class. Day, you better get it together. Another guy said, this kid is perfect for an SEC school, and I do not mean that in a good way. Good riddance and enjoy UT mediocrity. The level of copium in this group is amazing. Let me show you Ohio State so there's no misunderstanding, so you can see the level of spoiled that's going on here. Here's Ohio State, #1 in the country with 24 commits. They've only got room for one more anyway, really. 4 5-stars and 16 4-stars with a huge lead on everybody else. Really? And you're upset you lost a tackle. Okay. I think you'll be okay, though. I think you'll survive. And on that same message board, the Alabama folks, they're all upset because a blue chip 4-star flipped from Alabama to Tennessee. I'll show you their message board. This is all about Jaden Harmon. One guy says, sellout. Another guy responded to a guy saying, Tennessee's on a heater. He says, now that they can buy players and not get them on their own merit of winning is why I hate NIL. F them. Another guy is all distraught. He says, we are so poor. Another guy says, if he had picked anybody but Tennessee, I would wish him well. That being said, F them. So, yeah, they're not handling it too well, and we're going to talk more about Alabama here in a second. I'm also going to show you what Georgia had to say about some of this. This guy says, Georgia Tech getting 5 stars, Auburn closing the borders of Alabama and reemerging, Alabama continuing to work recruiting at a high level, Florida firing Napier and bringing in someone good, huge NIL war chest at Ohio State, Texas A&M. Will this year be the beginning of the end? He says, don't ridicule me. I know I've been reading too much waiting for the season to start. This is a Georgia Bulldog. They've won 2 of the last 3 national titles, and they're sitting at #3 in recruiting. So anyway, so even the Georgia people are upset about what's going on. But let's get into what Auburn's doing. Let me show you the 2 players they flipped from Alabama, 2 top 100 players. Now, Auburn has just flipped 2 top 100 players from Alabama's 2025 class. The first of which is Derek Smith, who's number 78 nationally, a very good player. And then on top of it, Antonio Coleman, who's another top 100 player. So this has obviously flipped things over in Alabama land. And Auburn is dominating in the state of Alabama when it comes to recruiting. And they are pumped as they can possibly be. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
And to me, you've got to ask the question, is this the hottest streak of recruiting that Auburn football has ever had?
There's no, I can answer it. 100%. There is nothing that's ever compared to this in the history of me following recruiting. So that's your source right there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And those guys are having a ball, those Auburn guys. And by the way, the reason they're wearing that clothing, I didn't even realize it at the time. That's a freeze warning, a.k.a. Hugh Freeze.
Get it?
Yeah, do you get it? Yeah, anyway, let's talk about the new player that Tennessee just flipped, which would be number 3 for Alabama. And that's Jaden Harmon. This young man is going to be fantastic. He's really fast. He will knock the crap out of you. You do not want to get hit by this dude. Watch this receiver here. Oh, I'm going to go, boom. He didn't even get a chance to turn his head. Now watch the pursuit right here. This guy is so quick-footed. And then he just pounds the dude at the end. Like I said, you don't want this guy. He'll just put you into the ground. He's an absolute dog out there, I'm telling you. This is a great get for Tennessee. This guy reminds me so much of so many of those Alabama linebackers they normally get. So to flip him, I think he's the number 150th nationally, so a big-time blue-chip player. And this has had an effect on Alabama quite a bit. They actually were about tied for first with Ohio State, and I'll show you where they are now in the team rankings. And while they're still in second, they're basically tied for second. They've got about half a point lead on LSU for third, and they were literally at about 309. They were like 1 point behind Ohio State. Now they're down 14 points. So Alabama's come down quite a bit. They still have a fantastic recruiting class. They got 5 stars, and they're all upset and tore up about Tennessee getting one of their recruits and Auburn, which is just, look, Alabama's just very spoiled. They're used to Nick Saban. He just goes out there and kills it in recruiting. And Kalen DeBoer's doing great, but this is odd to have 3 players, big time. These are guys they wanted too. You know, this is not players they were like, you're a 3-star. We just had you there holding a spot, honestly. That was not the case. All 3 of these were takes, 100%. So Alabama's not too happy. And if you know anything about Bama fans, the big thing they care about is football.
I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide, baby.
Don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide.
I love America and I love the Tide, baby.
Tide, go get them. Tide, go take them down.
Absolutely. And the other issue they've got, even though, they've only got 19 guys, they can still pick up some more. The top players are pretty much already spoken for or committed. I mean, I'll show you the list of what's left. As you can see, all the top players, Bryce Underwood went to LSU. There's a guy, the QB, that went to Ohio State, David Sanders, Tennessee, etc. Ohio State, look, well, what's Ohio State crying about? Good grief. They're loaded. All down the list, but all of these guys are pretty much committed. As you can see, there's just not a whole lot of folks out there available in the top echelon of recruiting. So, they can pick up some more guys, but it's not going to boost them up. They're probably going to finish 3rd, 4th, or 5th, if I had to guess, based on what I can tell there. Probably, no worse than top 5, but still, I thought they were going to take over number 1 for sure. It looked like it was almost guaranteed, and maybe they'll pull a stunner at the end, but they better hold on to what they got. Look, they've already lost 3 big-time players. It wouldn't be hard for me to see them to lose a 4th or a 5th, and then you'd start seeing panic in Bama land.
Remain calm. All is well. All is well.
Absolutely. It could happen. Don't think it couldn't. They don't have the magic man anymore down there, Nick Saban, that can hold on to all those commits. What if they lose 2 or 3 games this season? You think they're going to hold on to all those commits? Maybe. They might ought to get a little worried down there in Bama land. Nick Saban's not there to protect you anymore. Anyway, I thought y'all would enjoy this video, talk a little bit about recruiting, and Tennessee's just had a weekend. Good grief. Biggest 5-star out there, then a super big-time 4-star. Of course, we picked up Faison Brandon. Good grief. I mean, we're killing it right now. Auburn and Tennessee are the hottest teams in recruiting, and they're having their way right now, which is fantastic. We'll see how this plays out. But if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover all these big sports stories. If you've not subscribed, boom, 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 hit that little button. It'll help you get my videos. You won't have to hunt them, and it helps me out too. See, something in it for both of us. And right over here is the most recent video YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. We'll see you next time on Sports Talk J.